Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're doing a part 2 of predicting point totals for some players next season. Last video, we did Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Juraj Slafkovsky, and Arber Xhekaj, and you guys seem to like it. So today, we're going to be doing a part 2 with 4 different players. And the players that we are going to be talking about today are Kirby Dach, Sean Monahan, Samuel Montembeault, and Mike Matheson. So let's get started right away with Kirby Dach. As we all know, Kirby Dach had a season to remember last year, putting up 38 points in 58 games, but I think he is far from done, and he's going to continue to improve, and his points are going to continue to go up. He's really seemed to find his game here in Montreal, but like I said, I think he has a lot of improvement to do, and I think he's going to continue to improve the way he did last season. He was on pace for a total of 53 points if he were to continue up his pace for a full 82 games. After what we saw last season and how I really believe that he's going to do way better this year, I have him at 65 points for next season. Yes, this is a huge gap, but let's be honest here. If Kirby Dach gets the right line mates, if he stays healthy for all 82 games, then in what world is he not putting up 65 points? There are so many arguments that Cole Caulfield should play on Kirby Dach's wing instead of Suzuki's wing, so just imagine that happens too. Kirby Dach's points are going to go even higher than we think. Not saying that that's going to happen. Maybe he plays on the first line with Suzuki and Caulfield again. And then if they do that all year long, I could see him going way past 65. But yeah, that does it for our first player of today's video. Moving on to player number 2, and we have Sean Monahan. Now this is a real interesting player to talk about because as we know, he's always injured. For years and years, he's been riddled with injuries. And the thing about this video is that I'm trying to assume that they're going to play all 82 games. So even if I make a super realistic projection for Sean Monahan, there's a real good chance it doesn't happen because there's a real good chance he gets injured again. But anyways, we're still going to predict it. And yeah, last season, Sean Monahan showed a lot of potential. I mean, you got to remember, he's only 28 years old. Like, he's in prime time to contend. If he stays healthy, he is a monster player. I do expect him to have third line minutes this year, considering that we have Kirby Dach, Nick Suzuki, and even Alex Newhook to center those top 2 lines. So we have to take into consideration that Monahan will most likely get third line minutes, as well as some power play minutes. He was real good on that first unit last year, so he's easily going to be on the power play. Last year, he put up 17 points in his 25 games, giving him a 55-point pace. Now, despite this 55-point pace, here is what I have projected for Sean Monahan. I have him at 52 points. You may be asking yourself, why do I have him projected lower points than he was on pace for last year, right after me saying that he might be in his prime time if he stays healthy? Well, that's simple. It all comes down to the minutes and the line mates. I really do believe he's going to have lower minutes this year. He's not going to get the same kind of opportunity playing with Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Kirby Dach. I think he's going to take more of a mentor role and hopefully play with Juraj Slafkovsky or some other young guys that may crack the lineup. And honestly, if your third line center is putting up 52 points, that's something that we have not seen in a long time, and I'd be pretty happy with that. Now that does it for my point projection for Sean Monahan. Now we're moving on to player number 3, and you might remember from the intro, yes, it is Samuel Montembeault. And no, we're not going to project how many points he puts up. We're going to project how many wins he gets as a goaltender this year, because I truly believe he is the Habs' #1 goalie. Monty has been left out to dry since he arrived here in Montreal. Last year he did get a bit more help, but he's really had to fight for the spot he's in now. And since he's done so well last year, I can't see them not starting him as their #1 goalie. In his first season here in Montreal, in 38 games played, he had 8 wins. Remember, this is the year we came last place. Last year he played 40 games and he doubled it with 16 wins. Take into account that most of our team was injured throughout the year, and the only guy to score in front of Samuel Montembeault for all 82 games was Nick Suzuki. So if we're going to assume that all the forwards that I've listed already are going to play all 82 games, then I could say with confidence that Montembeault's wins and his stats are going to go up a lot. And yes, he's obviously not playing 82 games as a goaltender, but we're going to assume he's playing the majority of the games and he will stay healthy as well. So for Samuel Montembeault, I have predicted that he will have a total of 24 wins by the end of the season. I personally think he could get more, but we do have to take a lot more things into consideration. Will Allen continue to get a lot of starts? Are they going to try and flip him at the deadline? If so, he's going to get a decent amount of starts, taking away some wins from Montembeault. Or, now the newest addition, Casey DeSmith, is he going to play a lot? Is he just going to be a backup? Who knows? We have 3 goaltenders now. My money's on Samuel Montembeault to have 24 wins minimum, but there's a lot of variables, and we're going to have to watch out for those. But yeah, that does it for player number 3. Now moving on to the last player of today's video, and that is Mike Matheson, the man who had a breakout season last year. In his first season with the Montreal Canadiens, he put up 34 points in only 48 games, giving him a 58-point pace. Now that is insane, and I'm going to be honest, it's going to be quite hard to keep that pace up for a whole other season. I just don't see it happening. Do I believe he's our number 1 defenseman? Yes. Do I believe he's going to be damn good next year? Yes. But 58-point pace, I don't think it's doable, especially with all the young defensemen who are probably going to get a bigger role next year. Think about Caden Gooley, Arbor Jacki, Justin Barron, Jordan Harris, Kovacevic, all these guys. They're going to get a bump up with their minutes, especially Caden Gooley. He's the guy right now. He might get more power play time than any other defenseman. And when we take all of those into account, I just don't think that Mike Matheson will be able to produce what he did last year for a full 82 games. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying he's going to be far off. What I have predicted for Mike Matheson is 49 points. I think that is still a very fair point total for Mike Matheson and something to be very proud of if he does reach that number. So that does it for player number 4, and that will conclude today's video. If you did enjoy, don't be afraid to hit that like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Now with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Take care.